I'm a bit angry. I'm a bit angry because if you don't know, the number 95 Aston Martin got pole at Le Mans in the GT Pro class. Everything was looking, good for Aston Martin to once again be a contender at Le Mans. But then I start seeing the Aston Martin drop down. I start seeing the 95 start getting surrounded by every other GTE in the class. And I've just found out that it got BoP'd in between the quali and the race. And let's just say it's dropping like a rock. It is right now almost at the back of the field. I'm kinda angry. I mean, I've tweeted it, about this. That, overall, I think BoP is needed because it gives us a close race. I mean, if we didn't have BoP, the 4 GTs would just be flying. They'd just go, they'd just go off into the distance. But they've BoP'd Aston Martin way too hard, in my opinion. I mean, and it's not just this race. It seems like the year before they were just BoP'd to hell. And I'm just thinking to myself, if they're going to get BoP between quali and race, what's the point of going for pole? If you're going to show that pace, if you're gonna go at pole, you're just going to get BoP'd the most out of everyone. And with Porsche, you see Porsche up there when they were pretty much nowhere in quali. So all Aston have done is they've just sandbagged in practice. Went for it. They showed their true pace in quali. Porsche is sandbagged. Ford is sandbagged. Everyone else is sandbagged. I mean, yeah, you could say, well, they shouldn't have sandbagged in practice. They shouldn't have done that in practice. But even then, everyone sandbags in practice. And I am an advocate for BoP. I think it is needed. But the level at which some teams get BoP'd is just ludicrous. I don't know if ACO has had a mistake. I don't know if there's they added too much on when they didn't mean it. It generally seems like they've got 50%, 50 horsepower less than the other teams. I mean, the Porsche is just all over the Aston at the start of the race. It's ridiculous. I just hate this idea of just sandbagging, getting pole, and then you getting the most BoP out of everyone, and you're at the back of the field. What's the point for going to pole then? And in my opinion, it kind of ruins the race because now the Aston Martins are nowhere. Yeah, sure, you got the Porsches and Ferraris and Fords fighting against each other. We could have simply had Aston Martin as well be in that fight. What was the point of BoPing Aston? What was the point? What's the point of BoPing people after quali? Everyone had a chance after quali, it looked like. It's just teams were all over the place. You didn't have every single car up there. I mean, people are saying, well, just going off into much. But the thing is, the point is, what's the point of going into the night when you're just what was the point of going off into the night when you know you're much slower than everyone else? I'm pretty angry. You know, and maybe I'm coming across as like a Aston Martin fanboy, because to be honest, I kind of am. I mean, I'm highly supportive of Aston Martin. They're my local team. I want them to be successful. But it seems like these last 2 years, Aston Martin have done the right thing, where they've gone all at it in quality, and then they're just BoP to hell. What's the... I'll tell you something. BoP them in practice. Do nothing else to the cars. Or just use the car, you know, like how much horsepower it has. Just cut off some of that horsepower. Like put a restrictor plate on it, or something. Make the cars, you know, have the same power. Everything else different. Just BoP the power. You know, increase some power and lower some power. Just do something to keep the cars exactly the same speed. There's so much. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. You know, we'll just have to see. You know, what happens really through the night. I mean, you know, some people might crash, but I don't really see them, yeah, going up there. I don't see them coming back from this. I mean, it does look like they're still on the same lap as the leaders, but I don't know. You know, maybe it could change, but like if things don't change, if they're absolutely nowhere, they're not racing or anything, they're just driving around with nothing to do, I'm going to be pretty mad. So yeah, I think that's the end, really. That's all I wanted to talk about. I mean, I hardly ever knew that they would BoP in quali, because I just think that, well, they just BoP at the start of the Le Mans. That's, you know, the start of Le Mans, and then, you know, just leave them to it. I don't see the point in, like, you know. So basically, the winner is going to be the person who was down the most. You know, what's the point? What's the point of going for pole if you're just going to get BoP'd to hell? Now, the slowest cars in qualifying are just going to get the least BoP, and they're going to dominate the race. Once again, it's Porsche, Ferrari. You know, okay, Corvette's in there, so I guess that's a good thing. I mean, they've been unlucky at the past few years. You know, they've been absolutely nowhere. Okay, apart from 2017, but like for the most part in 2018, they were kind of nowhere. But once again, it's Ferrari, Ford, and Porsche again. I mean, yeah, sure, the racing's exciting, but we could have more. We could have Aston in there. We could have BMW in there. I don't see BMW or Aston challenging for the race win as of now. I mean, there's been probably about 3 hours gone in Le Mans, so I mean, they could come back. You know, it's still early days, but it just looks like they're trying to make this whole Ford versus Ferrari once again, because, you know, they're leaving, and because of the new movie coming up, of course they want to have the Ferrari and Ford battling it out, because, you know, they've got to get the normies in. So all I can hope for is that people hit trouble and Aston at least have something to race for. But if they're going to be like this, I'm sorry. What's the point of going for pole? Like, they've got to ramp up the BoP, because I'm sorry. Like, this isn't like the Ford GT BoP from, I don't know, 2 years ago, where, well, come on, it's an LMP2 as a GTE. You know, of course they're gonna get BoP to hell, but I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I support BoP, but this is just too far. Like, you shouldn't completely ruin people's races just because they've got pole. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's my rant over, really. I just want to talk about it because it's kind of disheartening to see someone who was so good just a few days ago be now absolutely nowhere. Like, they're not either back, you know, they're not last, but they're probably about third to last or something. So, once again, the chances of victory is slim. All I can say is, if you want to do BoP right, at least, you know, at least do it right. BoP the engine power or something. Leave everything else on there. Don't put any weight on, just BoP the power so that they're exactly the same power. You know, and just leave it all down to whether or not they're more fuel efficient or more, you know, aero dependent. You know, that's all they need to do. BoP, just BoP the power. You know, if the Ferrari's got 672 and the Aston is like the lowest powers, just put them all down to the Aston. It's kind of ridiculous. Once again, Porsche. It always seems like Porsche just always get their just get their way when it comes to BoP. I mean, like, we saw in 2018 how easily they won Le Mans. You know, it's just not. It is just horrible. But and I'm not the only one who's talking about it. A lot of people are saying Aston have been robbed. They've been royally messed up. So ACO, please, don't do this random BoP. Don't put weight on it. Don't do anything to the cars. Just put a restrictor plate on the engines. Same power. Bang. You got yourself a race. Nothing else. No brake ballast or rubbish like that. Just BoP the engines. Just keep them the same. There. You got the race. So, there we go. That's my rant over for real this time. So, thank you all for watching this rant. You know, it's disheartening, but yeah, I guess, you know, I guess Aston Martin are going to bring it up, and, you know, hopefully some new rules will, you know, make BoP a little less important. But yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.